during this time, I took the knowledge I had of alcohol fuel and delved into it quite a bit more and started teaching classes in it back in the late 70s and early 80s. And it caught on really well. I taught over 8,000 people in a very short number of years all over the United States in the early 80s, and ended up doing a 10-part PBS series, which you'll hear more about later on alcohol fuel. So you kind of have to, if you weren't there, it's a little hard to imagine how high everybody was in the early part of the 80s, and I don't mean because what we were smoking then, but because we thought revolution was in the air when it came to alternative energy. Jimmy Carter had passed all these provisions. He put solar panels on the White House. Everybody, it seemed, was working on renewable fuel, and alcohol was taking off, as well as a lot of other alternatives. And what happened at that point, of course, was a big black cloud blocked out the sun. It was called Ronald Reagan, and basically shut down almost all interest in alternative energy across the country. And his little-known running mate at the time, George Bush, manipulated the oil industry to drop the price so that basically there was no interest anymore in alternative energy by about 83 or 84. So that's kind of the modern history of what happened 20 years ago. And it's been very quiet until recently. But I think the history I'd like to tell you about first is where all this came from, where it all started.